Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz. It's May 7, 2020, 11:53 p.m., Birmingham, and got a very interesting prophecy update that came in on the May the 5th, and at 10:10 a.m. Now, the title of the prophecy update is "Goodbye Birth Pains, Hello Tribulation." And this is an article that was written by Bill Salus. I'm sure you all have heard of him. He's the Psalm 83 wrote a book about the Psalm 83 war with Israel, and he said it's still yet to come. But maybe not. Maybe that war has occurred through subtle events, like what's been going on the last 2 to 3 years. But let me tell you what he's talking about right now. He's actually teaching in Palm Springs for Hal Lindsey. He's taking a week for him, and Hal Lindsey has about 700 or 800 people. They're 50 years old or older, and they love Hal Lindsey there. And so Bill went in to teach for Hal Lindsey. Hal Lindsey always teaches prophecy. And you remember the late, great Planet Earth. I think Hal Lindsey is one that really kicked off this whole thing. But anyway, Bill goes in and teaches Goodbye Birth Pains, Hello Tribulation. Everybody wants to know, is it time? Now, let me tell you, give you these three right here, and I'm going to repeat them later. But I can no longer feed my son. That happens during a famine. I can no longer hold my son. That's during a pandemic like the coronavirus. I can no longer find my son. It's during an earthquake, a great earthquake. So what is it that needs to happen in order for us to enter into a truly goodbye birth pains, hello tribulation? Well, Bill lays it out in 6 events. The temple destruction, this is 70 AD temple, number 2. And the end is not yet. Number 3, the beginning of sorrows or birth pains. Number 4, the tribulation period. Number 5, the great tribulation. This is midway and beyond. And number 6, the second coming. Well, that's Palm Desert, by the way, is where he was teaching this for Hal Lindsey. But let me skip down, and I'm going to read something that really, these are things I like to hear. I like to hear the nearness of where we are now. Question came up, does the coronavirus indicate the end of the beginning of sorrows is near? Now, get that. Does the coronavirus indicate the end of the beginning of sorrows is near? Although this is a difficult question to answer, Bill Salus said, in my estimation, the answer is yes. I believe yes is the correct answer for the following reasons. Now, nation has already come against nation. Kingdoms have fought against each other, and famines, pestilences, and earthquakes have occurred and are still happening. All of the end time signs are converging. All the last day weapons are fashioned, technologies are developed, and national relationships are formed. The last 3 periods of the tribulation, Great Tribulation and Second Coming, could happen in short time spans, unlike the previous 1,844 years of the end is not yet, and then the over 100-year plus of the beginning of sorrows, plus years that is, the last three periods happened in rapid succession. In fact, all three happened within 7 years. He is talking about the tribulation, the Great Tribulation, and the second coming. Three of the biggest prophetic events in the Bible and all the New Testament happens within a 7-year period. Well, let's go back and one more time. When Jesus warned about famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in various places, the emphasis appears to be based upon these scenarios. In Luke 21, verse 11 states that there will be a great earthquake. In other words, when people are so adversely affected by all these things, they will say something like, I cannot feed my son. That's a famine. I cannot find my son. That's an earthquake. I cannot hold my son. That's a pandemic. That's coronavirus. Presently, the coronavirus has got parents concerned about even holding their children for fear of the spread of this deadly virus. And could this be the closing in on the end of the beginning of sorrows? He says again, the answer is yes. And there are three final periods that will follow. The tribulation, have to be a rapture to get us out of here for the tribulation to begin. So you have the tribulation, then the Great Tribulation. This is midway through the tribulation. This is when the false prophet goes in, demands to be worshipped. Now, what happens there? God told the Jews, flee. Wherever you are, flee. If you're in the field, drop your hoe and flee. If you're in the house, drop what you're doing and run. Don't go in the house. Flee Judea. Flee. Well, they have to go to Petra. What's in the way? Well, Jordan is in the way. So where does that come in play? Well, if you recall the things that Netanyahu mentioned in the last 4 to 5 months, and Donald Trump agreed with him on all of those, one of them includes Israel taking Jordan back. And they can do it quickly and easily. Now, what will give them the power to do that? Well, Ezekiel 38 war. When Iran, Iraq, and Turkey and their allies comes against Israel, God will let them post. He will let them get in their niches and their holes and surround Israel completely on the mountains above and around Israel. He will let them take aim, and then God's fury is thrown up in his face. Then God strikes, and he takes out 5 out of 6 of those that surround Israel. This very event will absolutely give Israel so much power, so much clout, so much might. They will take all the territories they need and all that is theirs, and they'll do it without anyone trying to stop them. This will give them a straight shot from where the false prophet enters the temple for them to flee wherever they are to Petra. Jordan stands in the way. Amman Jordan is right in the way. Today, you let a Jew try to go through Amman Jordan and they can't do it. Well, when the Ezekiel 38 war comes and Israel will hands down be the head of this, they'll come out like a rose because God defeated all the armies that were going against them. And why weren't the United States there? Why were we not there? I'm going to take a shot in the dark on that, and then I'll end this. It looks like that we are entangled into something that's going to tie this country's might and funds, money, tie us up for a while. It's highly likely that the United States and China could go at it. Now, do I believe that I'll be here when that happens? And I'll be honest, highly likely yes. But will there be enough of us left to go and defend Israel when the Ezekiel 38 war comes? I say no. And I believe that is the reason that the United States will not be by their side. But amidst this, between China, if there is going to be a war, and the Ezekiel 38, we're going to have a rapture of the church. That time's here. That time is near. And this study from Bill Salus is amazing. And if you just go again and just look at the date on May the 5th, prophecy update, goodbye birth pangs, hello tribulation. Very good article. I urge you to read it and just get your hopes up, because it looks like that we're really getting close. We have a worldwide pandemic underway right now, although I don't believe it's nearly as bad as they say it is, but nevertheless, people are afraid of it, and they're frightened, and it's still, well, it's worldwide. That's all you need to know. When the world is on a lockdown, the good guys are hiding, staying, being safe, being cautious, staying at home. The bad guys are out plotting what they're going to do to the good guys. It's just the way it happens, guys. And I expect something to come out of this that will bring on a rapture of the church, and then shortly thereafter, the tribulation. Jody Wolf Expoz.